I'm gonna soak this in and say yes. I'm gonna talk action any chance to get. Hell, I'm the only guy in the copperhead it seems anyone in action actually likes. It's not really a true statement, but it probably could be. And, welcome to Schmoedown Rocks, by the way. Yeah, this entire week has been mostly the qualifiers, the Gauntlet, the singles tournament qualifier. First, this week we had our doubleheader, and that doubleheader would decide Friday's event match. Of course, we're talking the match that first was wound up on Patreon, so that's why it is unfortunately considered an undercard, even though everyone in the Action Army will probably tell you otherwise, and probably including myself, even though I may give it to Lon Harris and Josh McCouga. The post interviews, at least, were some funny fucking shit. If not for that, none of us in Action Army would let it slide. Just throwing that out there. And the Misty Night thing with Janine's opening, with Janine the Machine's opening, was great. It was pretty solid. Apparently good enough that the chick who played her in the Luke Cage series loved it herself, which means there's definitely some love going on in the Schmoedown, so throughout the movie community, and it's nice to see. Movie and even TV community, I guess, in this case. So yeah, that was cool. Janine's also a fellow Action Army, so no matter who won, Action Army technically wins. It's Finstock, as far as I'm concerned, just hopping on the hype train that's happening with Who's the Boss, and more just Ben himself. Let's just face it. We know, and of course, you gotta have some of that winner's juice, man. You gotta have some of that winner's juice, and he probably had some of that for Friday too. Before we get to that, everything is so funny with this whole thing. I wish I could even, at this point, remember exact words that were being quoted. But let's face it, McCouga's starting up with bringing back the podium again like he did a while back, which gave us our nice little Wildberries gif that we got, that some of us lovingly got. Yes. As much as part of me wanted McCouga to finally, make it up to us for that Wildberries loss against Evil Geniuses, I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen, and I was right. I didn't want to doubt him. Hell, I wanted him to prove me wrong, but he didn't do it. Hell, I don't blame him for beating himself up over Lucas! Fucking Lucas! Oh, that's just... But yeah, Janine proved something of herself. And proved that she was damn good. Good job on that. And that whole thing, and even coming in during Lon's post-interview with the podium still there, it's like, I'm going to take this out. It was great. It was probably one of the best. If this is the last thing McCouga did, he at least managed to make it memorable and worthwhile. Or at least make it up to us compared to the Sadberries whole thing, which that happened, and was made me sad on that. But hopefully, who knows, maybe Wildberries will finally do something, make an actual comeback. They should have done in this tournament, as far as I'm concerned, but, of course, I had Who's the Boss as my secondary, possibly, if not Corruption. So, either way, at least Who's the Boss at this point, and all of us want them to win. We're not exactly discounting Harris Brothers, it's just, it should be Who's the Boss. It needs to be Who's the Boss. I'm just saying. It has to be. Or else, what the fuck? Plus, that would have made a more interesting matchup than the Harris Brothers situation, I'll be honest. Although, I do want to see, speaking of Machine, I want her and her partner in the War Machine to come back. That's a great team. I really want that team to happen. Still keep going, I think that'd be great. Because they were pretty good despite having lost to Paddington 2, which even that team I want to see, especially after their matchup with Odd Couple, which also needs to be continued as a team. That's a great pairing. I use the boss as a great pairing, though I could see somehow it not working out. And somehow Ben and Finstock basically do some bullshit and then bring in Guy, and, Team Action has, Finstock now, as a manager, which, who knows, might actually be in Action's favor, and I think I'll be okay with it if that's the case, though I would probably prefer him going Bobby Gucci instead of Finstock, but, since Who's the Boss is run, I could, keep the mask, go ahead. Go ahead, you sock puppet. Do your little dance. And Corruption needs to definitely move forward. Well, depending on how the storyline thing goes over, we'll see, But I would like it to move forward, and if not, I could see possibility of Ken bringing Chance over to the Knights of Ken, or he could just say, no, I'm not going to betray him, which basically shows good loyalty towards KO. Yeah. Damn. Just say, also, speaking of stuff in action, love the Action Guys podcast. It was nice. Very good. Alright. Anyway, of course, he moves on, but at least Janine gave up in a fight, and plus I was happy, Janine, on your first question. I'm glad you got the Firefly correct. Sure, yeah, I'm glad you used your repeats, at least once, on that question. That was nice. I mean, it all could have been better with how things happened with round 2, but you did pretty well. I'd say you proved your Action Army worthy enough to give his respect, but which is all I needed to hear. But fuck Finstock. I get your whole thing with Jay, but that doesn't mean. But the difference is that Jay believes and knows good competitors when he sees them. It's just a shame he doesn't know how to manage them properly. Even though he can be a good manager if circumstances work in their favor, and it hasn't been this year, and that kind of sucks. Though who knows, next year things will get better. At least he's got Ethan. And I feel bad for Machine because she is a good player. And it's just a shame they had to put him up against, because she's Action Army loved, and, you put up enough of a good fight, and, and yes, Ben had to do his charity service, and gave you a good match, and yeah, he gave you a good match, and you in turn gave us a good match, and that's all we wanted. I wanted a more tight-knit match, but we got what we got, and it was good. That's all we in Action Army can ask for. After that, whoever faces, it would have been tough if it was Makuga, though. I mean, but that would have been a hell of a lot more interesting, because that would have been the closest thing to Wild Bears Team Action I'll ever get. Even though I'm even far more hyped and looked forward to whenever we finally get to see Action versus Corruption, possibly. That'd be fun. Or at least, a guy versus KO at this point. That'd be fun. And yeah, I even admit, Janine, you have every right to complain about the whole thing with Chance, even though, Chance has proven his worth, I guess, through the teams. He didn't get to prove his worth in singles compared to you. I get it. I think I call bullshit too. And you shouldn't have had to do what you had to do to go up against Ben. You should have been up there, and maybe, who knows, we could have got the match we got here, but far better, if it was, a finals match. But, but we'll never know. We'll never fucking know. Overall, however, Ben went with Lon Harris, and I knew, and this was a great little prelude into what we would get in the finals for Anarchy between Who's the Boss and the Harris brothers. And as I was hoping, and most people were hoping going into this, Ben has all the confidence he needs to take out the Harris brothers. They plan on winning. That's all they plan on doing. I don't blame them. Win. I don't blame them. Drink that Charlie Sheen's winner's juice if you have to. Winning. Hashtag winning. So, yeah. Do it. Do it to it. Drink that winner's juice. Alright. There's juice. Hashtag champs launch. Here's juice for hashtag champs launch. And, that's what That's what I'm going to have to say with that. Ben, of course, beat Lon. That was an interesting match, too. But, yeah, all in all, I expected Ben to pull out the win, regardless, throughout this whole thing. Even though I'd have been happy, I'd have been fine if Janine pulled an upset. At least, you know, she had more to prove than Ben ever did. But, you know, I'm okay. Action Army, I'm okay with it. And, you know, Janine had fun. You know, she's not bitter about it. You know, she's Action Army herself, so she's kind of rooting for Ben, too, and at heart as well, although she can't really say it, you know. And I don't blame her. I wonder what the Machine Monday's like, or unless she took off of the Machine Mondays. I don't know. But, yeah. Overall, I like this week. And I thought it was good. Sorry, I had to double check something. Anyway, that's about it, guys. What did you guys think of this? Think of this week's matches? Qualifying in the Gauntlet, qualifying for who will face Clark Wolf, essentially, which is we now know has been Bateman. Definitely him making up for his surprise appearance in that 5-way from last year's matchup, which wound up being Inman, and that didn't turn out as well as it could have, but definitely kind of hinted at what was to come of the 5 Horsemen. But anyway, what did you guys think? Leave a comment below, let me know. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. And I will see you next week. And I got some music stuff to do. In fact, it's probably sort of a movie slash album review. We'll get to that later. Hopefully you guys check that out. It's going to come up sometime after this as well. You know, again, one more time, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown is cooking.